As the calendar turns to 2026, the Mountain West Conference schedule heats up as Boise State welcomes Grand Canyon University to the Treasure Valley and into ExtraMile Arena. With my broadcast partner, former Boise State standout Kim Bridges, and longtime Boise High School head coach, I am Mark Snyder. And Kim, you take a look at the conference standings heading into this game. Both teams lumped in at the 1-2 mark. It's easy to look at Grand Canyon's overall record and assume that this game won't be a challenge, but you do so at your peril.
That's exactly right. They are currently 2-11, which is not anything great, but at the same time, they had an ambitious preseason schedule. They really scheduled up. They opened their season at South Carolina. They played Oregon, Cal, Gonzaga, Santa Clara. This team is battle-tested, and they are dangerous. For the Lopes, it's a rebuilding year for head coach in his first season. Winston Gandy has to replace 96% of the scoring from last year's 32-win NCAAW tournament squad, but he's got a good one to build around, sophomore transfer Chloe Mann. That's right. Chloe Mann is their offensive engine. She was the Mountain West preseason newcomer of the year. She's going to give the Broncos plenty to handle. The key is going to be to try to locate her early and have great closeouts and force her to do some things that she doesn't want to do on the floor. This is Grand Canyon's first ever game in Boise, and they're looking for a statement win against a team that has won 10 in a row at home. A big reason, the trio of seniors, Tatum Thompson, Danny Bays, and Natalie Pasco. That's right. Thompson's coming off her third double-double of the season. She had 23 points, 13 rebounds. Danny chipped in 16 points, and Natalie with 19 points, going 5 of 10 beyond the arc. Grand Canyon welcomes only 2 returning players to this year's squad, but they will be a good test for Boise State this afternoon as the Broncos and Lopes match up for the first time as conference opponents and only the second time in history. We'll have the starting lineups and the tip to this afternoon's game after we take this timeout. And welcome back inside ExtraMile Arena with Kim Bridges. I'm Mark Snyder, and let's meet the Broncos starters. A senior-laden starting 5 with seniors Tatum Thompson from Woodinville, Washington, Danny Bays from Brisbane, Australia, Libby Hutton, the sophomore, the only non-senior in the starting lineup for Gordy Presnell. She's from Perth, Australia. Maya Hansen, the senior guard from Billings, Montana, and Natalie Pasco, the 4th senior from Danville, California, for head coach Gordy Presnell in his 21st season. Boise State coming in 10-4 overall, 1-2 in conference play, a perfect 8-0 here at ExtraMile Arena. Their opponents this afternoon, the Lopes from Grand Canyon University. Their first-year head coach Winston Gandy. Start this way. Chloe Mann, who we talked about in the pregame show, the transfer from Cincinnati, the sophomore. Anissa Jeffries from Mexico. Kind of an interesting story. We will talk about her as things move on. She's a 5'11 senior. Also starting lineup is Juliana Lambandola. There we go. A junior from Coppell, Texas. Caitlin Elsholze from Peoria, Arizona, a transfer from Cal State Northridge, one of only 2 returning players, and Inez Zunia, a freshman from France. Our officials this afternoon, Benny Luna, Kevin Kazuski, and Adriana Broussard. And Kim, we're set to go. Should be an interesting matchup against a team from Grand Canyon that's not afraid to play the big boys, or the big girls, if you will. That's exactly right. I'm very excited to see some up-tempo basketball today. Again, Grand Canyon, I mentioned in the pregame, but they are a dangerous squad. I think looking at the records, one would think that this might be an easier game for the Broncos, but I promise you they are not overlooking this opponent. This is Mann, Elsholze, back out to Mann. Pasco on her. Mann kicks it back out to Elsholze. Zunia at the top for 3. That's too strong, but the rebound pulled down by Jeffries. Elsholze underneath. The shot is off the mark, and the rebound to Danny Bays. Elsholze tried to take advantage of some height there. She had Maya Hansen, point guard, and she was able to seal her. Just could not get the finish on that one. So the Lopes 0 for 2 in their first trip down the floor as Thompson
finds Bays in the corner, launches the three and drains it.
Love seeing that senior-to-senior connection. Tatum did a great job. That was a nice planned play by the Broncos with their first possession, and good read by Danny to lift out of the corner.
Zuniga down low against Thompson, who forces it outside to Jeffries. This is Mann. Almost 15 points a game in her first year at GCU. Elsholz drives and scores with the left hand. Nice drive by Caitlin.
Again, Elsholz has not played very much for GCU just yet this year. She's only played in 5 games. This is her second season as a Lope. She did start at Cal State Northridge, but she's already getting on the board, so good for her.
In the corner, it's Zuniga. She drives, it's off the mark, and the rebound to Libby Hutton.
Broncos got lucky on that one, I think. Oh, good run.
Tatum Thompson runs the floor, but missed the bunny. Gets the rebound, misses another one underneath.
I think that's a possession Tatum definitely wants back, and that was a great up pass by Maya Hansen.
Hutton corrals the air ball from the corner. Broncos running. Thompson may have taken steps, gets it in.
Tatum had to make good on that one. She couldn't burn 3 in a row.
Broncos up 5-2 early going here at ExtraMile Arena. Mann hands it off to Lamendola. Lamendola outside right. Gets the return pass and launches the triple. Left it short. Thompson with a rebound. Coming off a 13 rebound effort against Nevada on New Year's Eve day. They'll go along with 23 points. Maya Hansen was in foul trouble in that game, so she's hoping to stay into this one a little longer. She did not play a lot of minutes as Danny Bays takes it around the horn and scores.
It's a great attack by Danny. She talked about this a little bit in our post-game interview on Wednesday night, but I think, you know, she recognized that there was a switch. She had a little bit of a slower defensive player on her, and she was able to turn the corner.
Mann misses the three, but the offensive rebound, Elsholz can't get it to drop, and Pasco with the rebound. And this pace, certainly much more than Boise State usually plays. Thompson gets the rebound and bucket.
Leave it to Thompson to make the more difficult of those 2 shots. The way to stay up in the air and get that rebound and finish.
And Winston Gandy takes the timeout. Broncos leading 9-2. Danny Bays starts things off with a triple for the Broncos. Broncos out early to a 9-2 lead. And Kim, we look at the keys to today's game.
That's right. Grand Canyon needs to really focus on making quality passes, finding the open teammate, and win the rebounding battle. That's been an area of concern for the Broncos so far this season. Boise State needs to limit those second chance opportunities, which they've already given up a couple of those in the game already, and contain Mann, who's been quiet so far, but I expect her to really have a big punch here as they continue to play.
Alasia Douglas now into the game for GCU, and she turns it over at midcourt. Also in the game, Carly Johnson, the senior from Oklahoma City, the Arkansas transfer.
I was standing right here on that midline, so I may have helped with some hand movements to that official on the far side.
And Nora Moo, a freshman from Wheaton, Illinois, into the game for the Lopes as Mann burns it down the floor, kicks it into the corner, and now looks for a teammate, and it's Elsholz. Caitlin, a little trouble with it outside, gets it to Douglas. Swing it back to Elsholz. Pasco closes quickly. Johnson, they go to the low block from Moo. She spins, nice shot, but can't get it to go. And Libby Hutton pulls down her 3rd rebound.
And that was a good opportunity for Moo. I mean, she had undersized Maya Hansen off of the switch, or in transition, she had to pick up the post player. Just didn't quite have a good angle on her shot. So the Broncos were very lucky, I think, on a couple of those possessions. They've purposely posted up Maya being undersized.
Broncos on the inbound. It's Tatum Thompson. Hansen, a little trouble with that one under the pressure of Douglas. Douglas, one of only 2 returners for this Lopes team. Maya with 13 on the shot clock, in the corner to Pasco. She's cut off nicely, skips a cross-court pass. Danny Bays buries the triple, her second one.
That was a good read, and I don't know if people saw it, but Tatum was making eyes telling her skip, 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 and so Danny had to get herself back outside of 3, but that was a great look too flooded out at Natalie for the good shooter that she is. Great look and great finish by Danny.
Douglas draws the foul on Pasco, first team foul. We watch this one again, and you see Natalie Pasco whistle for her first personal foul.
I think Pasco looked clean on top there. I think maybe caught up some feet as she was starting to make that move to the basket. That's possibly where the foul was incurred.
Douglas played at Clemson and Oklahoma State, and now in her second year at Grand Canyon out of North Omaha, Nebraska. An excellent free throw shooter, hits them both as Lamondola checks back in for GCU, and Elsholz will take a seat. Coach Winston Gandy looking for a combination that's going to work against a veteran Bronco team that's up 8. Thompson catch fire, missed that one. She's now just 2 of 6 from the field. Now we take a look. Winston Gandy in his first season, an assistant coach under Don Staley at South Carolina. Perhaps one reason why they played the season opener against the Gamecocks.
That's exactly why. He kind of got his start when he was a student at Maryland. He was a practice player with the Maryland women's basketball team, and so that's how he kind of got into the coaching game and found a love for it, and has had nice stints both at South Carolina and also at Duke with Coach Kara Lawson.
Thompson with her 6-point on the turnaround baseline. Now the Bronco defense very active against GCU. Lamondola hop, skip, and a jump, but missed that one. Underneath move, misses that follow. The long rebound to Douglas. She spins and scoops and scores.
I think one of those keys of the game, if I'm not wrong, was something about limit those second chance opportunities, and that was a possession that the Broncos do not want to remember, I'll tell you that much.
Outside it's Hutton. Pasco guarded by Johnson closely. Back to Libby Hutton. Hutton spins, nice move in the lane and scores.
It's a great move by Libby Hutton. Great attack. Recognized that the defense was sort of leaning and was able to step through for the finish.
Bronco lead is 10 as Douglas swings it out to Johnson. Carly, transfer from Arkansas, gets it back to Lamondola. Douglas takes the bump from Thompson and scores. Nice left hand there by Alasia Douglas. And now back the other way comes Douglas. Gets it ahead to Sifa Ineza, who's now in the game. Move outside Douglas. This is Ineza. That's no good. And on the rebound, Lamondola is blocked. And Hutton comes up with it, physical down low here in the early going. Thompson, Pasco, quick release. Skips off the iron, but Thompson with the rebound. Broncos will reset, 15 on the reset shot clock. Into the low post for Hutton, but a reach foul called on Sifa Ineza. As we look at the venerable one, Gordy Presnell, 779 career wins.
That's a lot of wins.
That is a lot. That is 22nd all-time in D1 basketball. 37 seasons overall. And he still is involved in active season number 1.
That's right. Into the game now, Morgan Maldonado. She missed last game with an ankle sprain that she had against San Diego State, so it's good to see Morgan back in there getting some minutes.
Hutton gets it to Maldonado. Down low for the double team. It's Hutton, and it's off her hands and out of bounds. Turnover number 1 on Boise State.
Broncos got to do a better job of reading those doubles. I mean, the fact that GCU is trying to double Libby Hutton in the post, that means there's at least 1, if not 2, open shooters that we have to be able to see and get that ball back out to them.
Into the game, Diamond Wright, the freshman from Springfield, Oregon. Deep 3 by Mann is good.
And those are the first points for Mann today, but again, not something that we didn't expect. She was 39% from 3 coming into this game, so.
Danny Bays hits the deck, the pass goes out of bounds, and she looks at official Adriana Broussard and says, how did that happen? And Tatum Thompson, a little discussion with the official saying that she didn't just fall by herself. but nothing was called. It was right in front of the official, and as they say, no harm, no foul as Johnson down to Jeffries on the nice two-man game, and just like that, it's a three-point contest.
And we talked a little bit about Jeffries when you're doing lineups. You know, she's a very interesting story out of Mexico. Has not played a college game before. Good second effort by Maldonado. Has just this year joined GCU late and was a late addition to their roster. But she played on the U23 Mexican national 3-on-3 team that competed in China last summer. And as of right now, they just say she's listed as a senior, and this is her year of eligibility. We'll see if the NCAA changes anything, but this is her first year as a college athlete.
That ball off of Jeffries' hands, so now we have a delay while the trainer takes a look at Libby Hutton, who maybe is bleeding, and so that will bring Emily Howard, the 6'5" redshirt junior from Vancouver, BC, into the game. Also, Pasco sits and Hansen returns, and now we see some full court pressure by GCU, kind of token pressure. They pull it off, and now Hansen into Tatum Thompson. Bronco lead is down to 5. Maldonado, Thompson, and they play catcher on the perimeter with Hansen, who throws it away. On the steal, it is Jeffries. Zuniga. That was too easy. She unobstructed to the basket and then fouled by Emily Howard on the drive, but gave her way too much room on that baseline.
I think in transition they weren't matched up. You know, even going back to the other side, that turnover by Hansen, you know, sometimes when you look, you say, boy, you've got this great big target. This post player is 6'5", got good hands. Throw it up to her on your post entry instead of a little bounce pass, which allows perhaps a quicker player to get a piece on it. And then Howard was late, tried to get a piece of it. Unfortunately, picked up the foul on Zuniga.
1 of 2 for Zuniga, who was the conference freshman of the week back on December 22nd.
Zuniga also played some international ball.
And Howard called for the offensive foul, muscling Jeffries for position down low. And that will get Boise State's Mason Borcherding off of Gordy Presnell's bench as Howard's picked up her second personal foul in rapid order.
Back to Zuniga again from France, and she is a true freshman. She was playing for the U19 French national team in their Eurobasket 3-on-3 tournament. So I think between those two, and there's actually a third one we'll talk about later, there's some good 3-on-3 basketball happening in some of their preseason workouts.
Danny Bays with a little 18-footer goes 19, and the rebound to the Lopes, down by 4, looking to draw closer. Zuniga outside. On top to Jeffries, drives on Thompson. Back to Zuniga, but she can't corral it. I have to ask you the difference between playing 3-on-3 versus 5-on-5. How does that transition work?
It's actually quite a big difference. It's a great way, I think, for teams, especially in the preseason or in the off season, for development of some of those individual skills and learning spacing. But they are, in my belief, 2 very different games. Same skill work, but 2 very different games in terms of how you're using each other and how you're playing off of each other.
Hansen down low for Thompson. She draws a double team, muscles it up, doesn't get it to go. The tip, no. The rebound, Thompson misses again, and then we have a whistle on the rebound. And I think they're going to get Boise State with the foul.
I think Maldonado got called for that one coming in.
So Boise State getting the ball down low, and Tatum Thompson already 3 of 9 from the field. 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Lamondola, corner to Jeffries. Back to Lamondola. She drives on Borcherding, spins, scores.
Borcherding just a little step slow on her slide there, which gave Lamondola a good opportunity.
Maldonado up high for Bays. Broncos will hold for the final shot, leading by 2. Thompson says she was held, looks at the official who wants none of it. And the turnover for the Broncos is their 5th.
5's way too high for at this point of the game.
Man will count if it goes. It's an air ball, and a tale of two quarters in that first quarter. Boise State got out to the big early lead, but GCU fought back. They've pulled it within 2 after 1 quarter here in Boise on the Mountain West Network. Welcome back. GCU, their bench, second in the Mountain West in scoring, averaging over 24 points. And so far today, they are outscoring the Broncos 6-2 with their reserves.
Yes, that's exactly right. I think Coach Winston Gandy is just trying to find the right combination. I mean, we talked with our SID right before the game started, and he mentioned to us that they haven't had the same starting lineup more than once or twice the whole season. So in those 13 games, that's kind of interesting. He's just trying to find the secret sauce.
Broncos with the ball to start the second quarter. Hansen on top to Thompson, who draws lots of attention. Quick pass out to Maya Hansen, and she's called for travel.
That's a good call by the official. Benny Luna was all over that, on her feet. Sometimes you get a little too excited about where you're going and don't take the time to catch.
6th turnover on the Broncos, all in the last 4.5 minutes. This is man. GCU looking for a tie or the lead. Pass into Jeffries. Good defense by Danny Bays. She goes to the floor for it, and on the alternating possession, or they call a foul, because Benny, they called a foul on
Jeffries.
GCU on Lamondola called for the foul, the transfer from Indiana. Watch it again. Bays, good anticipation, denying the pass to Jeffries, and then Lamondola is called for the foul, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
Looked like she jumped over her, I think.
Tatum Thompson hands the ball to Maldonado, back to Thompson. Tatum puts the head down, out to Maldonado. Maldonado has it stripped by Douglas and taken away. Another turnover by the Broncos.
I think Coach Presnell was frustrated. They kept coming back same side. I mean, that's a travel.
And that is the travel called on.
That's a bad travel.
Man.
One of the best ways to get action. Oh, here you go. We can see that travel again. She, used both of those pivot feet.
Yeah, you only have one. You can only have
liberally.
One.
Yes. Switching sides of the ball switching sides of the court is really important from an offensive perspective. And that last possession that they had, it was a 2-man game between Tatum and Morgan, just passing back to one another. So really making an effort to get to the other side of the floor, ask the defense to work as hard as you are working on offense. That's an important thing.
I mentioned this is only the second meeting between these two teams. The last one back in 2014 when the Broncos won down in Phoenix in the Women's Basketball Invitational. Mikkel Askew led the Broncos in scoring with 14 points. And if you had Mikkel Askew on your bingo card today, congratulations.
That was right before the Broncos really tipped off some of their Mountain West prowess. That WBI run was a really important run for them. The Paulicos were on the team at that time. Jai Rodriguez was on the team at that time. And so that was really giving them some of that postseason work, leading into some NCAA appearances the year after.
Hansen with the miss. The ball knocked out of bounds by the Broncos. Tatum Thompson has no room to breathe today. They are closing out on her, and I think it's frustrating Tatum a bit as she is drawing the attention of the Lopes outside. This is Ineza, the drive, and we are tied as that basket by Lamondola knots things up at 18. And Boise State in a scoring drought right now under this pressure defense by GCU. Thompson double clutches and scores.
Tough finish. I mean, she had somebody flying in her face. Her defender was recovering back on the play. I think Tatum is sometimes best in those moments of adversity.
Outside Ineza. Drives. Missed that one badly, but a foul called on Thompson. Wow.
Benny, I can show you a replay if you want to come over here.
Watch this one again.
Watch the push-off right there initially.
The bump.
And then she lost her feet, and Tatum was called culprit on that one.
Ineza to the foul line, 73%. She transferred from Florida International, where she was the Conference USA all-freshman team back in 22-23. She also played for Middle Tennessee. She did not play last year. So redshirt junior from Rwanda, and that one bounces home.
You know, Coach Gandy, again, brought in a ton of new players. It was a completely rebuild situation. And so I think seeing the record as it is, 2-11 early in the season, you're just trying to build chemistry with everybody who's all brand new. And so that's really, really tough to do. Once you build chemistry, then you build culture, and then you kind of move from there.
I have to wonder how many practices before they could take the "Hello, I'm" name tags off their jerseys. Underneath, Hutton gets that one to drop.
Great call
with
play.
4 points.
Great call play to get Libby into some scoring columns. That was unfortunate, just not coming back and matching in transition. The Broncos, they do something great and then lose that momentum on the defensive end.
Elsholz with the bucket. Outside, Natalie Pascoe misses the three, and Moo with the rebound. That's one and done shooting for the Broncos. Douglas back quickly. Douglas drives, spins out. Jeffries fouled on the follow shot. And we said don't underestimate this Lopes team, and they are taking it to Boise State right now at both ends of the floor. And Boise State appears a bit kind of frustrated, Kim, not able to get back into a rhythm.
They are, and this pace definitely favors the Lopes. Early on, the Broncos were doing fine with this pace because they were hitting their shots. But now the shots aren't falling, and every single time they take a quick shot early in that possession, it's going the other direction. And anything that GCU can get off of the bounce or in transition is just gravy for them. When they have to actually work in the half-court set, that's when things get a little bit more difficult. So the Broncos really have to concentrate on getting back, matching in transition, and doing a better job of getting quick, valuing those possessions. Good job by Danny to get that ball out.
It's knocked away and stolen by Zuniga.
Would like to see Libby Hutton take that shot.
On the breakout, Mann gives the Lopes a 4-point lead. Kind of day it's been for the Broncos. Elsholz, scoreless on the season, has 4 points. She got the start. In traffic, Danny Bays draws the foul. We were talking last game, Kim, about how physical Nevada is. That's nothing compared to this GCU squad.
Right, and this officiating crew is letting the GCU squad be very, very handsy. I mean, we've seen Thompson looking at the officials, Danny looking at officials a couple different times saying, hey, I'm being held. They're flooding two at the ball, doubling all over the place. So once the Broncos can relax, absorb some of that pressure, and find the open teammate, they'll start to see some easy buckets come their way.
Rare miss for Danny Bays, an 80% free throw shooter. Broncos down 4. It's a 6-0 run over the last minute for GCU, and that breaks the run. That free throw makes it a 3-point Lopes lead. And here's Mann into the forecourt. Kicks it out to Johnson, and then Zuniga around the top. Diamond right. Back to Zuniga. High post to Lamondola. Hands it back to Mann. GCU gets the jumper by Mann that's too strong. And Maya Hansen with the rebound. Pressured by Johnson in the backcourt, but gets it across the timeline to Tatum Thompson. Bays back to Thompson, and now they can finally get the hole before the shot.
Yes. That time maybe we wanted them to
let it go.
Let it go.
Or look for that NBA continuation. There was the hold by Lamondola.
Her second, I believe.
Inbounds pass, and Natalie Pascoe takes the contact and scores.
A little bit of prison rules out there. That was tough. That was a tough finish into contact. Natalie, good job getting that finish. I think that should have been a 3-point play.
Hutton with the rebound, and then on the catch, Pascoe's foot was on the line, and the Broncos turn it over now for the 9th time today.
You know, I think the last game, Broncos had 13 total turnovers. I think she might have traveled. Yeah, she traveled on that.
Okay, called the travel. I thought her foot was on the line, but instead it was a travel was the call. But you're right, Boise State much less taking much less care of the basketball as Zania hits the three-pointer. She's just a 29% three-point shooter, but she drained that one with confidence.
She did. Tatum got caught going underneath the screen, and I believe Moo may have rolled a little bit early. It's one of those things that you would think is a little bit of a moving screen. So had a good look at three.
Good look for Hutton, but it doesn't drop. And the Lopes with a 4-point lead under 5 minutes to go in the half have the basketball. Zania puts on the Jets, scoops and scores.
Broncos got to pick up their defensive effort. I think Coach Presnell has pondered taking a timeout, but that media timeout is not very long from now, so I think he's been waiting for that as well. We just haven't had that stoppage of play.
Hutton with the good rebound and the follow for Boise State.
It's a great second effort by Hutton. I love it when she's aggressive on the board. Her team needs more of that right now.
6.6 rebounds for Libby. Outside, the three ball is missed, and Hansen up high for another rebound. That is 4 now for Maya. Hansen is fouled on the shot.
I think that might have been the third or fourth
time she was fouled. Yeah. Watch this one
Johnson.
Again. Oh, that's the three ball for Zania. Sends us to a timeout. The Lopes leading by 4 here in Boise. In conference games this season, these two teams about near the top in scoring and in defense and field goal percentage. Boise State averaging just under 64 points a game. Grand Canyon 62 a contest. And the 4th and 6th best shooting team so far today. You look at the numbers, the Broncos shooting 43% and the Lopes 38%. Maya Hansen to the free throw line. Maya today 0 for 3 from the field, but hits her first free throw. An 81% free throw shooter for the Gatorade Montana Player of the Year as a senior at Central Catholic High School in Billings. Converts them both.
A little bit of light of 2-2-1 full court pressure here for the Broncos, hoping to chew some clock.
Three ball is missed, but the rebound to Jeffries. Mann lines up the triple and swishes it. And then lets everybody know with the 3 fingers that she just nailed a triple, and Mann now with 8 points.
Mann's starting to find her comfort zone here in the gym. And again, that's another offensive opportunity given back to GCU. Another steal here.
Jeffries with the takeaway. Mann on the run out with the bucket. And it's a 7-point lead for the Lopes, their biggest. Underneath.
Nice finish by Maya Hansen. She had Jeffries rotating over to help, but she did a good job extending the ball out and finding a way to finish that basketball.
Mann over Thompson. Hits another one.
She's feeling herself now.
Yep.
Again, she's their offensive engine, so GCU is going to go the way that Chloe Mann goes, and right now she is on fire. So Broncos have to do something to slow her down a little bit and get a little bit more offensive scoring on their end.
Hutton on the feed from Thompson draws the foul. 13 now for Mann to lead all scorers. Bays leads Boise State with 9. GCU came into the game this season averaging 8.3 steals. They are at 5 steals already today. As you see this one again, Hutton draws the contact and the foul, and the sophomore from Perth will step to the free throw line. 17 points at New Mexico, a career high in the season opening road trip.
That's right, and one of the things that Libby, I think, does best is her court vision on the offensive end. She does a great job finding the open cut, and her teammates do a great job of seeing the open cutter.
3 minutes left here in the first half. Broncos trailing now by 7. GCU outscoring Boise State by 10 here in the quarter. Hutton converts them both. GCU has hit their last 3 shots and 5 of their last 7, including a couple triples by Mann, who has the ball now in the corner. Thought about it, skips past to Douglas. Hansen on her, skips through the lane and travels.
I know the Broncos are only down 6 right now, but, I mean, when you look at rebounding, Broncos have given up 7 offensive rebounds already this half. So that was one of the keys of the game, one of the points of emphasis. And the Broncos just need to do a better job cleaning up that area. I really believe if they take away that second chance opportunity for GCU, they'll be able to regain the lead.
Thompson on the bench for Boise State as Hutton swings it out to Danny Bays, quickly down to Borcherding, and she is called for the travel.
I didn't see that one. I'd like to see a replay on that if possible, but she looked like she dribbled the ball. We had a good skip here.
Maybe there, but it seemed like the call was made before we saw that.
Yeah, I think her feet were in the air when she did that dribble, so hadn't designated the pivot foot just yet.
High post to Moo, outside guarded by Borcherding. Poked free by Bays and recovered by Mann in the backcourt with 14 now on the shot clock. Mann swing it out to Ineza. The drive by Zuniga. Corner, deep 3, counted. Rainmaker for Sifa Ineza.
Boy, that was
just a 14% three-point shooter.
That had some height to it. I really thought that was going to be short.
Zuniga with the steal. Zuniga drives and scores. And Gordy Presnell, not happy, takes the timeout as the Lopes have opened an 11-point lead with 1:40 to go, and they're doing it, Kim, on defense. They are forcing turnovers. The Broncos have turned it over 12 times, leading to 18 points for GCU.
Yeah, that just can't happen if you want to be successful. Again, against Nevada, who I thought was very physical, they only had 13 turnovers. And Coach Presnell, he likes to hold on to his timeouts. He likes to wait for those media timeouts, and timeouts can be very valuable in the end of a game or in an appeal situation. But he had to do something to stop the bleeding here, so he eventually did just call that timeout, even though there's only 1:40 left in the half. But right now, all momentum is going GCU's way, so hopefully the Broncos can get muster some of that confidence back and get some possessions going their way.
Lopes have hit their last 5 buckets. And they have forced, like I said, 12 turnovers, turning those into 18 points. And that's the story of your game right here. This is Hansen outside, gets the Borcherding screen, picks up the dribble and is in trouble. Down low, kick it out to Bays. Danny drives, run-handed runner, no. Rebound tip free. Bays battling for it. It's on the floor. And the alternating possession favors GCU.
That was a good effort by Bays, and again, she's trying to make something happen for her team. You can see here that was a good opportunity by her, a tough shot. But GCU is just the more aggressive team right now. They're more physical, they're more aggressive, they're just putting forward more effort. So the Broncos are going to have to match that effort and that physicality in the second half.
The Lopes shooting 10 of 15, now 10 of 16 from the field here in the second quarter. The Broncos 5 of 10. As the pass goes to Hutton down low, Jeffries on her. Libby tries the reverse, left it short, and Mann collects the rebound with 43 seconds left in the half and an 11-point GCU lead. Mann runs over Bays, nothing called. Keeps her dribble, drives. A lot of contact there, nothing called. They're letting them play here this afternoon. Danny Bays thought about the triple, but pulls it out to Hutton.
Just a second difference between shot clock and game clock right now, so I'm sure Broncos are going to want to hold this for the final shot of the half.
Pasco gives it back to Hansen. Pasco just 2 points on 1 of 3 shooting today. Hansen weaves through past Mann, goes up, doesn't get it to drop. The rebound and the jump ball. The Broncos will get it with 3 seconds to go. As that one hung on the rim and rolled off for the Broncos. And now Carly Johnson, the 5'9" senior, comes in, as does Moo. Douglas will leave as GCU going for some height here in the final 3 seconds. Hansen triggers it to Hutton. It goes through her hands. And the long 3 is off the iron or the glass. And GCU outscores the Broncos by 13 here in the second quarter and has taken a 44-33 lead into the halftime locker room, and I'm sure Gordy Presnell's going to have a lot to talk about as his Broncos trail by 11 here at the half. Welcome back to ExtraMile Arena. Grand Canyon blitzing Boise State in that second quarter and leading 44-33. As Kim, this game started out Boise State on an early run, and then the Lopes just really being much more aggressive and forcing a lot of turnovers. They have forced 13 turnovers and have 18 points off those turnovers.
That's right. 13 turnovers. I don't care if you're playing South Carolina or UConn. Like, that's not acceptable in a half. When they played Gonzaga, GCU forced 22 turnovers and only lost by 4 to the Zags, who's a quality team. So the Broncos are definitely going to have to clean that up. They also need to do a better job on the boards. Right now, the Broncos have given up 7 offensive boards to GCU. So that was a big part of why they outscored the Broncos 28-15 in the second quarter.
Leading the way, we talked about her in the open, the transfer from the University of Cincinnati, as Chloe Mann started out slow but picked up a lot of steam. 5 of 11 from the field, 3 of 6 from deep, and she has been a thorn in the side of the Broncos all day.
She definitely has, and we talked about this in the pregame, but she is their offensive engine, so the team will go as Chloe Mann goes, and right now she is going off. So the Broncos have got to do something to slow her down. I think that's too much space. You can see on one of those threes, one of her 3 threes that she had in the first half, they got to get closer, they got to make her uncomfortable, and they just got to do a better job altogether on defense.
So Boise State struggled scoreless in their last 2 minutes of that second quarter. Libby Hutton, a bright spot for the Broncos so far today, as she has really been one of the few Broncos to actually find some room and do something offensively.
She has. She enters scoring just 8.1 points per game. She already has 8 today. Love to see her continue to be attacking on the offensive rebounding end, and they could really use her to lift her defense to see if she can get the rest of her team to follow her lead in that way.
Boise State trailing by 11, outscored 28-15 in that second quarter, and in that quarter, GCU was able to shoot 10 of 17. As we take a look at elsewhere in the Mountain West Conference today, a busy slate of action in the Mountain West. And we will get you scores of some of those games. As Fresno State and Colorado State, it's the Rams, who we will see here on the 10th, leading the Bulldogs 77-66 with about 4 minutes to go. UNLV leading by 5 at Air Force. San Diego State leading at Wyoming by 2 at the half. Nevada leading Utah State at the half by 11. And later on this afternoon, San Jose State hosts New Mexico. Here it's an 11-point lead for Grand Canyon University. More second half, or halftime activity rather, comes your way following this break. Grand Canyon up 11 over the Broncos here at ExtraMile Arena, threatening the Boise State 10-game home winning streak. Very much in doubt with an 11-point lead for the Lopes. We take a look at some of the milestones that Boise State players are looking at for the program history in scoring. Danny Bays, Natalie Pasco, or Danny Bays, Maya Hansen and Tatum Thompson closing in on 1,000 points each. As we take a look at the career milestones, Bays now with 2 3-pointers today. She's at 175 3-pointers. Natalie Pasco at 1,350 points scored. And Maya Hansen, with her last assist here in the first half, has hit 300. This has sort of been the bedrock of this program, these seniors.
That's right. Natalie Pasco just passed Connie Sandlin, who is better known here locally as Connie Skogran, Mountain View High School coach, colleague of mine for many years. So she is currently 10th in career points. 2 more points will have her tied with Brooke Pauakoa for program points at 9th in career history. And for her to only have 2 points at the half, I think that's a worrisome spot for the Broncos. So they're going to get some more output out of Natalie Pasco. They definitely need some more intensity on the defensive end. I'm sure that Coach Gordy Presnell is going to be talking about all those things with the Broncos at halftime.
Broncos trailing by 11, and a big reason behind that as we look at the first half stats. Turnovers 13 by the Broncos, which the Lopes have turned into 18 points. When you lead somebody 18-0 in points off turnovers, that in a nutshell is why it's an 11-point game.
It really is. And a lot of those turnovers, I mean, I don't know if I'd even mark them, some of them as steals. I mean, right. I think the Broncos have been lackadaisical with the basketball, especially as they're trying to enter into the wing. That needs to be improved. And sometimes, you know, I would talk with my players a lot about this. If you meet the basketball instead of reach for the basketball, that's the difference between 2 points the other direction and potentially a foul on the other team. So the Broncos have to do a better job of being more physical, taking care of the ball and meeting all passes, and really force the GCU team to play more defense.
In the game against Nevada, we were marveling at the assist-to-bucket ratio by Boise State. It's flipped today. 5 assists on their 13 buckets, while the Lopes have 8 assists on 16, so half of their buckets. Why is it that Boise State's unable to get that assist game going? What are the Lopes doing to make it difficult?
I think right now the Lopes are just making the Broncos feel like they're on their heels. I mean, they are pressuring like crazy. They are doubling in the post. They are doubling sometimes out in the wing, and the Broncos aren't doing a good job of recognizing the open player. And so they're passing to get rid of the basketball instead of passing to find the open teammate or passing to find that assist. So that needs to be a change in mentality for the second half for the Broncos.
Well, we'll see what Boise State and GCU have coming out in the second half, which comes your way next. Grand Canyon leading Boise State by 11 here at the half. With Kim Bridges, I am Mark Snyder, as the Lopes have made things a little uncomfortable for the Broncos here on Boise State's home floor. And it doesn't get a whole lot easier for Boise State as you take a look at the schedule. A game at Air Force, which is always a difficult place to play in Colorado Springs, and then a home game against the conference leaders, Colorado State.
That's right. Air Force, that's a tough game. I don't care what sport it is. They always play well at home. They play well on the road. They're just another physical team. Colorado State has had a wonderful preseason, so that's going to be a tough contest. I hope local fans will come out for that game on the 10th. And then Wyoming, they're a little bit down compared to years past, but they are also very dangerous. They're just well coached and do a really good job executing offensively. So it'll be fun seeing them come into ExtraMile Arena.
And then a return trip to Grand Canyon on the 24th. We look at the Lopes schedule quickly before we start the second half. They have to travel down to San Diego State, and then a home game against Fresno State in Nevada before hitting the road to New Mexico and Colorado State. Also difficult games. Notice that New Mexico game will be on FS1, and then they welcome the Broncos for the first time as conference opponents on the 24th. Set to start the second half. The Lopes leading by 11. They will start with the basketball, shooting to our left, and we'll see what adjustments the coaches made at halftime. Well, if you're GCU, not many are needed. Lamandola outside, backdoor cut for Jeffries. She's cut off nicely by Hutton. Goes to the knee with the dribble, gets it to Mann. Chloe probing, pulls up. Jeffries will launch the three. That's not good, but the rebound inside and the bucket, that is Zuniga, who had inside position, and it's a 13-point lead.
Yeah, again, the Broncos just need to do a better job of recognizing when the shot's going up, making contact, and then pushing those players back. I think Zuniga didn't do anything super special in that moment, but she definitely did keep her position. She wasn't pushed out by the Broncos, and that resulted in easy 2 points for them to start the half.
And the 14th turnover on Boise State as they turn it over in front of their bench, and the bad mojo continues for the Broncos. Now we have a delay, and they award the ball to the Broncos, so it's a change in possession, and it's not the 14th turnover. They credited the steal to Zuniga, but they take that off the board, and the Broncos get a reprieve and a phone call from the governor. Here we go. Outside, it's Danny Bay. Zuniga all over her. Danny bounces it, and there's another turnover, number 14. But Thompson takes it back. Tatum, 1-on-2, doesn't get it to go, but she'll go to the line. Tatum, 4 of 11 from the field, and you don't see her struggle from the field like that.
You know, a lot of those extra shots that she's taken have been rebounding her own miss, and so she's had a couple, especially early, where she was taking 2 shots for the possession. So, yes, it doesn't look great, 40%. She does better than that, but that's why.
Steps to the free throw line and hits the first. She's got 9. She and Bays co-leaders with 9. Hutton with 8. Mann with 13 leading the way for the Lopes, along with Zuni, who's got 10. Second one missed, and the rebound by Jeffries. That is her 6th. Outside, it's Zuniga. This GCU team has a lot of quick. Elsholz in the corner to Jeffries. Mann on the attack, cut off nicely. Jeffries spins in the lane, doesn't get it to go, but gets her own rebound and puts it home.
Jeffries makes a nice, smooth move to the basket and then just stays with it. And I think the Broncos had a little miscommunication. One thought the other was grabbing the rebound. Neither end up with it, and Jeffries gets 2 easy points.
Pasco misses the 3. GCU on the run. Mann outside. Yo-yo dribble. And the pass is deflected, and it'll be GCU ball. It almost looks like the Lopes have a little bit more want it than the Broncos do today.
They do. I mean, I think sometimes when you are struggling to get those wins as a team, you get a taste of a little bit of success, and it's easy to ride that wave. And so right now, that's what GCU is doing. They've got some confidence. They're ahead of a team that is very, very good at home, and so they're riding that wave.
Kenna Garza, the freshman from Pocatello, checks in for the Broncos, trying to get some better rebounding. A long pass to Thompson. She's doubled, gets it out. Danny Bays lines up the 3 and sinks a much-needed triple for the Broncos.
Broncos really needed that bucket. That was a good job by Tatum meeting the pass. She had to jump up like a wide receiver to catch that in transition. I think Maya could put a little more mustard on that. But good find by her. And Danny just nice, smooth, took her time and got that finish.
12 points for Bays. Zuniga gets past Garza but missed the shot. Thompson with the rebound, her 6th.
Garza's given up a little bit of quickness there guarding Zuniga on the perimeter, but then Garza has the extra benefit of having some more strength in the post, so hopefully we'll take advantage.
And Kenna in the lane gets hammered by Zuniga, and it'll be a foul on GCU. But right away, Kenna Garza making her presence felt. The long miss by Pasco. Garza with the rebound, and wisely takes it in and then draws the foul.
I think Kenna got bopped in the mouth on that one, but she gets up and she's ready to set a good screen here on this baseline out of bounds play.
Hansen to trigger. Well defended by GCU. Bays in and out. Lamondola with the rebound.
That's a good look by Danny. Those usually drop for her.
Douglas attacking, draws the foul. And this GCU team, they do run like antelopes. They really look to run. They push the pace, and I think that's catching Boise State a bit off guard as Douglas on that pass just drives quickly, drew the foul on Maya Hansen, and that is Maya's second foul. And now Douglas to the free throw line where she hits the first. Douglas now 7 points. 3 of 3 from the line for the Broncos. Morgan Maldonado checks back in the backcourt. And on the missed rebound, Lamondola offensive glass and puts it in.
Tatum Thompson had the inside position there, but that's one of those cases where she did not box back and just expected her athleticism to outwin or to out-jump the athleticism of her opponent. You always want to make sure on that one. You always want to make sure you push back, box back, and secure that rebound.
Maldonado nowhere to go with it. and gets it to Thompson. Tatum, free throw line jumper, draws the foul. This is a swarming GCU defense. And they are making the Broncos mighty uncomfortable as Diamond Wright checks back in. And Elsholz will sit. Thompson to the free throw line. Frustrating day for Tatum, and that one spins out. She's now 1 of 3 from the stripe. When it rains, it pours for the Broncos.
There's a lot of game left, so the Broncos need to really just concentrating on score and stop. If they can start doing that, they can start to turn the tide. But right now, you can't bite off a 13-point lead in a couple of possessions. So it's not a time to panic. It's a time to sit down, play better defense, and execute better on the offensive end.
Bench points favor the Lopes 12-2 as Douglas drives to the middle, comes to the stop, swings it over to Wright. Underneath, it's stolen by Maldonado. Good defense by the freshman.
That's a great job by Morgan. Coming into space, both she and Tatum, I think, were actually having a chance of picking up that steal.
Bays on the attack, runs into the defender, and they're going to call the offensive foul on Danny Bays as the GCU defender was able to establish position in the lane. I'd like to see that one again.
I would, and I would have liked to seen the other official have that call.
Well, but it certainly appeared as Carly Johnson was well established in the lane. I think that probably looked like a good call, at least to my eyes. Sifa Ineza swings it out and picks up the ball to Wright. Back to Jeffries in the corner to Johnson. Jeffries. Open jumper from the left side is off the mark, but there's an offensive rebound and a missed shot, but good attack by Carly Johnson and another offensive rebound by this GCU team. What did we say about rebounding to start the game, Jim?
I believe it was one of the keys, yeah.
Yes.
Broncos showing a little bit of zone on this possession. I think they're just trying to figure out if they can show something different, if they can end up with a different result. But the danger in playing a zone is you have to be disciplined on the box out, and the Broncos were not. So that was an easy look. Kenna was in that position to try to contest and got an arm. So that's an easy official to make a call right there.
Carly Johnson splits the pair. She was a McDonald's All-American nominee in 2022, transfer from Arkansas, and she gives her team the 14-point lead. It was 11 at the half. Underneath for Thompson, and now Tatum showing some discomfort. Looks like she may have pulled something as she reached for that pass. That was not a good pass to throw by Maldonado, and Tatum gingerly holding her right side, maybe lower back area. The inbounds pass comes to Bays. She drives behind the defense, takes a lot of contact, scores, but should have been an and one.
Absolutely. That was another finish through contact by Bays. Good job to, yes.
And an offensive foul whistled against GCU as Bays hits the deck. And is that Diamond Wright or Carly? Let's see who's the Lopes player. That's Ineza, who is whistled for, I think, for the foul.
I think she got the wind taken out of her there. Yeah.
So she will make her way to the bench. Mann checks back in. Mann with 13 points in 18 minutes.
This is a good opportunity for the Broncos to cut it to 10 or even to single digits here by executing on offense. So
we're halfway through the third quarter. Natalie Pasco outside. Finds Tatum Thompson. Maldonado guards it down low, puts it in. We're down to a 10-point game. Nice feed from the post, or to the low post, to Kenna Garza for her first two. Outside from the top. That three ball's no good. And the rebound, Pasco. As Lamendola missed the triple on a quick shot. Maldonado.
That last set was a called play to try to get Kenna a good look. So they kept with 4 out and kept passing around to wait until they got a good look by her. She's solid when she can get to her spot there on the post. So
Thompson cross court. Danny Bays, that's too strong. Rebound Thompson, a lot of contact. She didn't get the call. Looks at Benny Luna, wants the call, didn't get it. Outside baseline, the drive, skips off. Zuniga, the rebound, kicks out to Douglas, the lefty for three.
That one hurts. You know, the Broncos had, I think, a good opportunity. Tatum Thompson tried to make something extra happen, and then for that to turn around and be a three-point play.
Lamendola fouls Garza down low.
I think this might be a little bit of a makeup call by Benny Luna on that one.
The three ball for the Lopes. They're up here in the third quarter. Rebounding, a big story today in this game as Grand Canyon, 2 games this season with 50-plus rebounds. They're at 27 today, but it just seems like they're being a more aggressive on the glass than the Broncos.
They are. They've had some good bounces go their way, but I mean, that last clip that we just showed here, again, Tatum was the inside position and Lamendola just making something happen, getting a tip, which turns into an offensive rebound and putback.
Kenna Garza hits the first free throw, the freshman from Pocatello. All-state for the Thunder. Led them to back-to-back district championships down in Pocatello, but she's 1 of 2 from the line. And the rebound pulled down by Zuniga. Quickly man in the forecourt. Douglas, she's not shy, but missed that one. And on the rebound, a foul against the Broncos.
I think that's going to go against Garza. I think as she was hustling back in action, we got Howard coming in for her here, but I think as she was hustling back and trying to get into rebounding position, I think she may have bumped Moo.
12-10, the offensive rebounding advantage on the inbounds pass. Nice play to Carly Johnson for the 2. And Johnson now with 5 points.
I think there's going to be quite a few bits of game film that the Broncos are going to be watching this week.
Danny Bays draws the foul in the and one opportunity. A nice set play. 2-man game with Tatum Thompson, who gets the assist. Watch this one again. Thompson, the backdoor cut to Danny Bays, and she got crushed by Zuniga. Her 3rd personal foul against the Lopes. Zuniga, the first player in the game with 3 fouls.
And good job by Danny Bays keeping her composure and finishing through contact. Again, this has been a physical, rough game for both teams.
Bays with 17 to lead Boise State. Just 2 Broncos in double figures. And there's a steal by Maldonado. She drives and does not get the bucket or the call. Back the other way, Jeffries kicks it to Douglas. Back to Jeffries. Excuse me, that is Johnson. Douglas at the top missed the 3 badly, and Hansen with the rebound.
Boy, I think the officials might be losing sight of this game a little bit. It's getting very, very physical and ugly in the inside.
In and out for Hansen. Man, corner. Elsholz, Douglas down low, scoops and scores.
It just seems like the Broncos can't catch a break. I think Maldonado had a great steal. Definitely incurred some contact as she attacked the rim. Just couldn't get the finish or the call.
Bays misses the 3, and on the rebound, the foul is against Boise State, says our official Adriana Broussard. Let's see who the call is against.
I think Maldonado's going to get caught with that one.
And it's a penalty situation, so GCU in the bonus. Maldonado going for the basketball, gets whistled for the foul.
I mean, that's a good no-call situation in my book. Again, Maldonado, you can't be angry at her. She's trying to make something happen, and she just took quite a bit of contact when she tried to get the finish after picking up that steal. So I don't think that she gave out any more contact than she took on the previous possession.
Elsholz, these are her first 2 free throws of the season and missed them both badly, but the offensive rebound to Jeffries, out to Mann, and that shot is off the mark, but Jeffries another offensive rebound. Mann drives on Thompson, doesn't get it to drop, and Tatum with her 8th rebound. Down to Bays. Hansen underneath for Howard, maybe overpassing, but the Broncos get away with it as Howard will go to the line for 3-point opportunity.
Howard needed that bucket to go in. She's just, again, she's coming back after an injury that she had at her last school at Liberty, and just adjusting to the pace a little bit. So a couple missed box outs up by her on the defensive end, but great find by her teammates and really good finish to contact. This is hopefully going to be giving her some confidence moving forward.
Her three-point play gives the Broncos some life. They're down 3. Both teams now in the bonus as we are approaching 2 minutes here in the third quarter. Boise State outscoring GCU by 1 here in the quarter, but the second quarter was the bugaboo for the Broncos.
Again, showing some more 2-3 zone look by the Broncos. This is actually a Jeffries.
Nice move, and she will go to the line for the and one.
She is smooth. Again, Jeffries out of Mexico, a senior, listed as a senior, though this is her first year of collegiate basketball. You can see part of why she has that savvy probably in the 3-on-3 for her country of Mexico.
Hutton with her first personal foul. Lamondola checks back in for GCU. And that one rolls through, and it's back to a 13-point lead again for the Lopes.
Broncos just can't seem to get over that hump. You know, they'll cut it to 10, and then all of a sudden something doesn't go their direction. So they've got to do something here. Running a little bit short on time.
Out to Thompson in the lane for 2, and that's 12 for Tatum Thompson. Minute and a half to go here in the third quarter rather, as Mann jogs it into the forecourt past Maldonado, takes it all the way, missed the shot, and a blocking foul called on the Broncos. And Mann just making things happen, being the aggressor.
She is definitely the aggressor, and off the bounce, I mean, she's a tough guard to actually try to defend. So she got a little bit of a step off of Maldonado. She reached right here, and then when you see Libby coming over, I think Libby gets called for that block, and also insult to injury. He gets a little bit of contact there.
Second foul on Hutton as Mann steps to the line and spins the first one out. Her first attempt of the game is for naught.
She's 89% from the free throw line, so that's a rare miss for her. Broncos will have to expect that she'll be more, there you go, securing that second one.
Both of Mann's parents played college ball at Kansas State, so she comes from good bloodlines, and she will take a seat here in the final minute 19 of the quarter. Some full court pressure by the Lopes. They're up 12. So we approach the final minute. Maldonado. This is Bays to Garza back in the game. Guns it out to Hansen behind the screen, but kicks it over to Maldonado. Danny Bays, quick fire, missed the 3, but draws the foul. Whistled against Sifa Ineza, and that is Ineza's third personal foul. She will go to the line, and now 3 free throws for Danny Bays, an 80% free throw shooter.
Neza's trying to plead her case when she's talking to her coach on the bench. But I think she definitely did get some hand of Bays, and Bays caught and shot that right away.
Danny, an 80% free throw shooter, uncharacteristically has missed 2 today. Two of 3 to make it a 10-point game with a minute to go here in the third quarter. Quickly into the forecourt. It's the Lopes. Mann gets a deflection on the drive, and the score, and a 3-point opportunity for Lamondola, just taking it strong to the basket and drawing the foul on Garza, who hit her upside the head. Upside the head is what the call is from Benny Luna.
I mean, that's a good take by Lamondola, definitely. I think Garza had a poor closeout, wasn't ready for the attacking drive. But that was just a touch, if a touch. So again, thinking about some of the contact that we've witnessed here in this game, it's really hard when something like that is called, and then we don't have that same consistency with what I think is much more physicality.
Hansen hits the deck. Let's check her ankle out. She's okay. Maldonado, she'll fire, miss. Rebound to Danny Bays, and she draws the foul.
If that's Zuniga, that's her fourth. I'm not sure if they gave it to Jeffries.
Jeffries with her second. Fouls are even at 14 apiece, but it doesn't seem that balanced when you watch the flow of the game. And these will be the 18th and 19th free throws taken by the Broncos. Bays hits the first. GCU is 12 of 18 from the stripe. The Broncos are now 13 of 18. And it's an 11-point game, which is where we were after the third quarter. And Coach Winston Gandy doing a lot of substitutions. A lot of players have played pretty even minutes. There's a steal by Bays. Bays guns it to Thompson. Thompson underneath for two. And it's a 9-point game, yes. Douglas quickly the other way, out to Jeffries. Back to Douglas. Shot clock off. GCU will hold it for the final shot. Broncos get it to single digits. Douglas launches the three. It's on the way. It's off the mark. Rebound to the Broncos. Hutton, and she just holds on to the ball. And we will head to the fourth quarter with GCU leading Boise State 66-57 as Jeffries, the three-point play, gives GCU the lead going into the fourth. Well, you have two of the best players in the Mountain West Conference on display today. Tatum Thompson, the preseason player of the year. Chloe Mann, the preseason newcomer of the year. And so far, they lived up to the billing today. Kim, both players, 14 points, 8 rebounds today.
Yeah, their stat sheet looks almost identical. One item of note is that Thompson right now has 998 points. The next bucket will push her past that 1,000 points for the career mark.
Outside, there she goes from the right side. Left that one short, however, and the rebound by Jeffries, her 10th of the game. Lead all rebounders, and GCU looking to regain the double-digit lead. High post move, down low under Hutton. Missed that one. The 9th rebound for Thompson.
And surprisingly, that wasn't whistled. I thought for sure they were going to whistle Libby Hutton with a foul call there. Her arms kind of came down as Moo went up, but they let them play on that.
Maldonado to the baseline. Cut off there by Moo. Swings it out to Danny Bays with still 11 on the shot clock. And the pass for Hutton too far off her hands and out of bounds for the 16th turnover now by Boise State. Broncos in an unfamiliar position, Kim. 6 of their 8 wins this season at home have been by double digits. They've not been down in the fourth quarter at all this year here at home.
They've played away and been in positions like this before. Good job by Maldonado. Man, but good effort by the freshman.
Zuniga comes up with it in the forecourt. Drives on Hutton. 8 on the shot clock. Hands behind her to Mann. Maldonado on her. 3 on the shot clock. 2 on the shot clock. They get it away, and it's over the top. Zuniga's shot goes over the backboard, and that would have counted had it gone in.
I know. That's the frightening thing. I think sometimes, kids know the shot clock is getting down, and they just expect it's going to expire before it really does. Whether it's the end of the quarter, end of the shot clock, end of the half, you got to keep playing until that buzzer goes off.
Hansen to the right side, guarded by Moo. Into the lane. Maya strong to the basket for 2.
Great finish, and again, against a taller player. So Maya did a nice job recognizing that she had a step on her defender, and good finish there.
Douglas missed that one. Double-digit rebound now for Thompson. She leads the break and slows it down, gets it to Hansen. She'll launch from the top for 3, and the Broncos are down by 4, making a run here in the fourth quarter. Outscoring GCU here in the fourth, 5-0. Broncos making it close here in the fourth quarter in Boise. Maya Hansen with that three-pointer moments ago. She's now got 9 points. The Broncos down 4. The senior from Billings coming through here in the fourth quarter, Kim.
That's right. Maya's probably best known this season for her assists. I mean, she's averaging just under 5 assists a game. She has 4 today already, but she's getting it done on the scoring column today, and that's what her team needs. Natalie Pasco, who is a normal, important double-digit scorer for the Broncos, has been sidelined with just 2 points right now. She's back in the game. Hopefully she can catch fire, and we're getting some great defensive effort by Morgan Maldonado, the freshman from Anchorage, Alaska.
High post. The pass goes down low to Jeffries. Spins on Thompson. Missed that one. And Tatum now with her 4th double-double of the season, 11th of the career. That's her 11th rebound. Pasco in the corner. Down low for Hutton. Libby spins. Curls it over the front of the rim. And don't look now, folks. It's a 2-point game on a 7-0 run for the Broncos. And then Hutton back defensively. Knocks it away from Zania.
Showing a little bit of full court pressure, and they're dropping back. They've played zone the last couple of possessions. The Broncos have. I don't know if you noticed in that last set, Jeffries slips down, and that's one of those hard cuts when you're in a 2-3 zone to defend. So the Broncos are going to do a better job talking, but right now it's a ball game, folks.
Hutton knocks it free, but Elsols comes up with it for GCU. She drives, missed that one, and the rebound to Hutton. Broncos looking to run. They can tie right here.
Tatum Thompson was open on that one. Wisely, Maya Hansen did not try to make that pass. That would have been through about two or three people.
Thompson to Hutton. Libby drives underneath. We're tied. A 9-0 run to start the quarter for the Broncos.
Smooth move by Libby Hutton and great finish. She had to extend and really float to give herself a good angle on that layup. But way to make it when it counts right there, Libby.
Broncos have hit their last 4 buckets. GCU has gone cold here in the fourth quarter. Zania, as the Broncos crank up the defensive intensity. Here's Douglas. She's dangerous. She drives with 4 on the shot clock. Free throw line jumper. No. Thompson, another rebound. I was going to say, with the early season schedule that GCU plays, they're used to, adversity against some really good teams. We'll see how they respond here against Boise State. Pasco for 3. That's off the mark. Long rebound, though, is run down by Maldonado. Thompson calling for the ball.
Mann and Jeffries are at the table waiting to go in. Part of this run has been with them on the bench. So the Broncos are hoping to keep the ball alive and not have a stoppage of play.
Maldonado off the mark. And the rebound pulled down by Elsols. GCU. Douglas. She'll bring it back out. She's played at Clemson, so she knows, and Oklahoma State, she knows big-time competition. The drive by Zania. Kicks it underneath for Moose. Blocked by Thompson. Ball knocked free. It's loose, and they're going to call a timeout as GCU with 2 seconds on the shot clock. And Coach Winston Gandy asks for and gets the timeout, and we will break as well. Boise State on a 9-0 run. The Broncos tie this one on the bucket by Libby Hutton. We're all even here in the fourth quarter from Boise. Boise State on a 9-0 run here in the first almost half of the fourth quarter, and Maya Hansen, a big part of it. She now has 9 points today, and Libby Hutton has 12 today, and the Broncos have rallied.
They really have. Now GCU has brought back in 2 of their most important players, Mann and Jeffries. Nice job by the Broncos there, stopping Mann's shot.
The block by Danny Bays, and then a travel called on Pasco by Benny Luna.
I did not see that. Again, I want to see a replay on that. I think that was a little bit of anticipation. Let's see.
She may have taken a skip and a jump.
Boy.
17th turnover on the Broncos. Lamondola in the lane. Spins on Hutton. Cut off. Outside to Ineza. Here's the shot by Jeffries. Curls in. And that breaks a run of 8 straight misses by GCU. and gives the Lopes a 2-point lead and their 21st points off Bronco turnovers. Maya Hansen thought about the three, picks up her dribble, gets it to Thompson. Tatum guarded there, gets the step, drives on Jeffries, missed the shot, a lot of contact, and the ball out of bounds to the Lopes.
I think there's some Bronco fans who are still holding on to a few calls ago. And that was a lot of contact by the rotating defender, Ineza, but no whistle there.
Douglas drives, kicks it in the corner. Man, high post, it goes to Lamondola. Underneath, and one opportunity for Juliana Lamondoza. Lamondola came in averaging 4.8 points a game. That's her 11th point of the contest. And after a 9-0 run by the Broncos, it's now a 5-0 run for the Lopes, and they regain the lead with 4 minutes to go. Hansen in the lane. Hansen scoops with the left hand and scores. Maya now with 11.
Great finish by Maya, recognizing that there was no double there. It's just her and Douglas, and she did a great job extending when it was most important.
Douglas from the corner misses the three. Thompson with the rebound and the foul called against GCU. Tatum now with 13 rebounds.
And you can see Tatum's frustration. She goes up strong for this rebound and just gets bopped in the head. I think she feels like this has been happening all game long. But credit to her to keep her composure and to get the ball back for the Broncos.
Down by 3. Hansen from the top. That's off the mark. The rebound off the backboard, and it's corralled by Jeffries. Jeffries leads the break for GCU, and then she slows it down and finds Mann with the basketball. 3:25 and counting here in the fourth quarter. The Lopes lead is 3. Jeffries at the top. Down low for Lamondola. Contact, nothing called. Count the bucket for Lamondola. She's now got 14. The way this game has been called, you'd think that'd either be a charge or a block. Something would have been called, but there was no whistle.
Agreed. Nope.
Outside Pasco, and then there's a foul on the Lopes as Danny Bays hits the deck.
I think the trainers are going to be quite busy after this game today. There's going to be quite a few ice baths that are going to be drawn. Danny just gets plowed through. We won't. Yeah, we'll see a little bit there. Mann just ran right through her as she was setting the screen.
2 fouls on Mann. 5-point lead for GCU. Inbounds pass to Pasco is out of bounds off of Mann, who hit the deck. And Boise State resets the offensive series. It comes into Pasco, and she is fouled on the drive. Douglas, mouth wide open. She can't believe the call. And it'll be the 3rd team foul on the Lopes, so an out-of-bounds play for the Broncos. Pasco tries to get free. They come down to Bays. Her floater from the left wing is good.
That's a tough shot by Danny Bays. A little bit off balance, and I believe she got a little bit of a push as she went up on that too. Mann is doing everything she can to try to sell a foul called. Thankfully, the officials haven't fallen for that the last couple times.
Jeffries gets the offensive rebound. Douglas launches the 3 and drains it. Douglas, an impressive 15 points today. And then in the backcourt, Douglas called for the foul. And that is going to be her 2nd. The lead is 6, so we are under 2.5 to go. Broncos need some late game magic. Hansen thought about the 3, gets it to Hutton. Libby, not who you want to be your ball handler against a pressure defense. Broncos need to go quick. Hutton underneath, puts it up strong. It curls off, and Jeffries with another rebound. That is her 13th. GCU on the break underneath. Too easy for Nora Moo, the freshman. And now the lead is 8, and things looking a little grim for the Broncos. Hutton down low, up against Moo. Draws the contact and the late whistle.
definite contact on that one. I think everybody's a little gassed. You see them go into their huddles as Libby goes up. Moo was trying to recover, and there was all sorts of body's been happening this entire game, but that time especially, and even still, it was a patient whistle by the officials.
Points off turnovers today, favoring GCU 21-8. Rebounding favoring the Lopes 40-37. Second chance points 22-10. So no real mystery as to why GCU is leading by 8 with 1:47 to go. And that one rattles out for Libby Hutton. 12 points, 10 rebounds for Libby, a double-double. 4 of the 5 starters for the Broncos in double figures. Pasco with an uncharacteristic 2 today. Hutton 1 of 2, and the Bronco deficit is 7 with 1:47.
I know the deficit's 7, but right now GCU has 5 team fouls compared to the 1 for the Broncos. The Broncos need to start getting more aggressive, start getting more handsy, see if they can't get the ball to be turned over or take a quick shot that the GCU, man.
Amendola plows over Bays, and then there's a whistle.
Travel.
And a travel against the Lopes.
I think Danny tried to sell that charge. I'm not sure that was a charge, so that was a good no call by the official. Broncos got to move here, down 7.5. Still very doable, and again, offensive execution, defensive execution. There you go.
Thompson with the and one opportunity.
That'll help, not only putting some points on the board, but stoppage of play, get a chance to make another one at the free throw line. The Broncos are closing this gap, but now it's going to be defense.
Third personal foul on Jeffries. And now Tatum Thompson, 2 of 4 from the line today. A chance to make it a 4-point game. And she does, with 1:23 to go. They're not going to let Maldonado into the game. She got to the scores table late. Amendola avoids Bays. Corner, it's Zuniga. Jeffries at the top. Outside, they work it man, trying to eat clock as we approach a minute. 10 on the shot clock, and GCU with the benefit of time. Man dribbles through the double team. 2-1, fires the 3, missed it, but they're going to call a foul on Danny Bays, says Kevin Kazuski. As the shot clock expired, Kazuski's going to award 3 free throws. Wow.
Again, looking forward to seeing a replay on that. Man has a little bit of a characteristic of dropping after shooting. Boy, I mean, it's hard to see from that angle. You do have to give legal landing space.
She did close out, and Man did come down on her foot. And so now they're going to go to the monitor to see if Man got the shot off before the shot clock hit 0. So that would be a break for the Broncos if the ball did not get released in time. That would wipe out the foul and the 3-point opportunity. But they're going to, obviously, that was a quick review, and I guess she did get it off in time. And so Man goes to the free throw line. Gordy Presnell with some words for the official. Let's see this one again. Yeah, it's clearly off before the clock hit 0. So that was an easy call to make. And Man can ice this one. 14 points, 52.8 seconds to go. The lead is 4.
And Man did come down on Danny's feet. Seeing that next angle, it was easier to tell that. But she does have one of those shots where she kind of kicks her feet forward. So, again, that's a point of emphasis for the officiating crews this year. And they really want to make sure that they are protecting shooters so that they aren't spraining ankles in situations like that. Coach Presnell is going to call a timeout, talk with his troops, and hopefully draw something up from half court.
You have a 7-point play and 52.8 seconds to go. The Broncos started out this quarter on a 9-0 run to tie the score, but it's almost as if that took a lot out of them. And GCU much more aggressive and settled things down about halfway through this fourth quarter. And now the Lopes will look like they are on their way to breaking the Broncos' 10-game home court winning streak.
That last possession, that was really a wind out of your sails type of situation. I think when they had it at 4, if they could have got that shot clock violation, come back down, you still are looking at roughly a minute of play. Down 4, that's a very doable thing.
You can see that the Lopes have to play at San Diego State coming up here. Their next game Wednesday nights on the Mountain West Network. As we look at scores from around the Mountain West today, San Diego State wins in Laramie, beating Wyoming 72-55. UNLV holds on and wins at Air Force 64-58 as Hansen has the ball inbounds. Maya drives, scoops, doesn't get it. Hutton crashing the boards, misses the follow. And the rebound taken down by GCU Lamondola. And I think that's pretty much going to ice things as Johnson brings it into forecourt. And the Broncos with the double team and the foul. Pasco and Thompson both there. So with 34.9 seconds to go, GCU leading by 7.
Yeah, the Broncos, that's only the 3rd team foul, so they've got fouls to go before they would actually bring them to the free throw line. I think they're probably going to just be playing this one out. Jeffries
is fouled by Pasco, and Natalie just suffering through really an uncharacteristic game for her. Just 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting, 0 for 5 from three-point range, 3 rebounds. So Natalie, certainly her contribution, a normal Natalie Pasco game would have made things a lot different for the Broncos today.
It has, and you can't fault Natalie's efforts.
Not, no.
You know, and she came back in the 4th, and she was a big part of not necessarily the scoring column, but their surge in the beginning of the 4th quarter. So she definitely was a difference maker, I think, as they started to gain traction in this game. But yeah, it's just tough when the ball's not falling for you, and you're a shooter, and that's your job. It's one of those things that you're like, okay, what else can I bring to the team?
Lamondola hits the free throws, makes it a 9-point game as Boise State takes their timeout. Doesn't get any easier for the Broncos. They have to go to Colorado Springs to take on the Falcons of the Air Force, who lost today. And both teams will be 1-3 in conference play as they square off in the altitude of Colorado Springs. On paper, it's a game Boise State should have a good opportunity to win, but as you said earlier, Kim, it's never easy to play the Falcons on their home floor.
It isn't, and UNLV found that out today. Yeah. I mean, they played them down to the wire. Eventually, UNLV got the win, but again, it's a difficult task to play Air Force at Air Force.
Outside pass go, down low for Hutton, knocked free. Gets it to Thompson, double clutches and scores. 19 for Tatum, but with 20 seconds to go, Bays knocks that one away at midcourt. Kim Bridges wanted to make the play.
I tried. If it's half-court basketball, maybe.
Jeffries in the backcourt being chased by Thompson, who wraps her up for the foul. And that'll send Jeffries to the free throw line. So you want to credit this GCU team. They came in at 2-11, 1-2 in conference play, a rebuilding year. Most of their players from last year, 96% of their scoring, either graduated or transferred. Their head coach, Molly Miller, is now 15-0 at Arizona State this year. And a big rebuilding task for Winston Gandy, but his team plays hard every day, and we saw it here this afternoon.
That's right. That's something you can build off of. You know, they were picked 7th in the Mountain West among the 12 teams. So them entering the league after graduating 11 players from last year's team that went to the NCAAs, after losing their coach and bringing in all of this new talent, you know, I think Coach Gandy is doing some great things down there in Phoenix and at Grand Canyon University.
4 players in double figures. 5 players in double figures for the Lopes. As you just referenced, Grand Canyon picked 7th, Boise State picked 4th, UNLV, San Diego State, and Colorado State forecasted to be the top 3 teams, and that's kind of the way things are shaking out so far in the season. And every game is a grind in this conference, and we're seeing that today, certainly.
It is, and right now Broncos are going to have their backs against the wall. I think when we talked to Tatum in post-game, she talked, and Danny said this as well on our Wednesday game, you start to feel those winning ways again, and then you remind yourself that, hey, we're a good team. They are a good team, but they have to prove it every single night. And I think in the first 3 quarters, Grand Canyon was proving that they were the more hungry team. So the Broncos are going to have to figure out how to get hungry and how to get hungry really fast.
Broncos on the inbounds, comes to Pasco. Natalie drives baseline. The runner curls off. That's sort of the way her game has gone today.
Interesting.
Shot up and in by Zania. Base hit the ground, and that's the way things are going to end. On sort of a downer for the Broncos as they fall 87-76, losing their first home game of the season and seeing their 10-game winning streak here at ExtraMile Arena come crashing to earth as GCU uses a 28-15 second quarter to put some distance in. The Broncos rallied and tied it at 66 in the fourth quarter, but that was as close as they got as GCU outscores them 21-10 to win this one. Back with post-game interviews after this break. Welcome back. GCU beats Boise State 87-76 here at ExtraMile Arena, snapping the Broncos' 10-game home winning streak. Pleased to be joined by Danny Bays of Boise State. Appreciate your time after a tough loss today, Danny. I guess we start out with sort of a bittersweet congratulations. You did eclipse the 1,000-point mark in your career, but you would much rather have done that in a win, wouldn't you?
Yep, for sure.
Did anything about the way GCU played come out today surprise you?
No, not really. I don't think, obviously, they're definitely a tough team. They've played some tough opponents, and I don't think their record necessarily reflects that, reflects the type of team that they are. We knew they were going to be physical. We knew they were going to be, up in your grill, but I don't think anything really surprised us from them necessarily.
Danny, I know that the team didn't get the result you wanted, but I thought you had an amazing game. You were 7 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6 from three-point, and also solid at the free throw line, a 6 of 8. So I know that this is a disappointing thing that the team didn't get the outcome that you wanted, but talk about gaining some traction at home, both with the Nevada game and this game, and rolling into Air Force. Do you feel like you guys can carry and take that onto the road?
Right. I think Air Force is definitely a hard place to play at as well. I think all the road games are, but I think we can take a lot of confidence out of Nevada. I think there's things in this game as well. I mean, our start was really great. Unfortunately, they just got us on the rebounding and, second chance opportunities, but I think that's learning curves and easily fixable for us. So I think we can go into Air Force with confidence, but also knowing that, they're a great team and they're good at home too.
This game can prove to be a lesson in why it's important to take care of the basketball. Boise State gave up 21 points off turnovers, uncharacteristic for this team. What was this? Was it something GCU was doing it, or was it something Boise State wasn't doing right?
I think GCU, I think they held us a lot. I think we struggled to kind of get open in those passes that we pass into gaps we weren't able to come and get and go to the ball. I think we struggled with, especially in our post presence. Like, I mean, I'm through some to Tatum, and she was just getting held down there, and I don't know if the refs didn't see it, but I think being able to, play through that physicality is something that we can always improve on as a team.
And you're talking about playing through physicality, but talk about playing through the frustration when, some of the calls were not going your way today. Yeah. And, I mean, I saw multiple times where you were on the ground or Tatum was on the ground and you're looking at the officials saying, hey, help me out. Yeah. How do you continue to stay positive in a moment like that?
I think we really just need to come together as a group. It's something that we've struggled with previously, and it is difficult, I feel like there's no, here, this is the solution, take it and go. But I also think we did fight back into the game, but it is something that we have to keep improving. I just think staying together and, getting each other up, but also I think getting a stop on defense and then getting a good look. We didn't really get good looks in that second quarter, which kind of helped them to have that burst. So I think just slowing the game down for us, and, you know, when we do get not so great calls, trying to get something good offensively or defensively will help us.
Well, Danny, a tough loss, but best of luck at Air Force. We'll see you back here on the 10th, a week from today.
Thank you.
Danny Bays, one of 2 Broncos who eclipsed the 1,000-point scoring today, as Bays and Tatum Thompson both eclipsed the 1,000 points on the career. Look at the final numbers, and GCU won the rebound battle 42-38. Boise State shot the ball better from the field, 28 of 65, but GCU got up 7 more shots than the Broncos, and there were 30 of 72. So they were just a little bit more aggressive on the boards, a lot of second chance points, and GCU, a well-earned win here this afternoon.
Yeah, you really have to credit GCU's team and their team defense. I think they did a lot of things right today. You know, to say something positive for the Broncos in the second half, they came out with that big burst in the fourth quarter. They could have just rolled over after 3, but they chose not to. Tied the game, took the lead. And then the other thing is, I think it was 13 turnovers at halftime. They only finished with 17. So there's a lot of what ifs. I think the Broncos wish they could have had some of those possessions back. Wish they could have maybe restarted the second quarter differently. But, you know, the Broncos are going to have to clean up some things if they want to reach that 4th place or better in the Mountain West.
Boise State tied it at 66 in the fourth quarter, but GCU righted the ship and comes away with the win here, 87 to 76. Next up for the Broncos, a trip to Colorado Springs. They take on the Air Force Academy. Next home game will be here on Saturday the 10th. They will take on Colorado State's Rams, so 2 tough contests coming up for the Broncos. But they fall today 87-76. For my broadcast partner, Kim Bridges, and our entire production crew, Mark Snyder, thanking you for joining us this afternoon from ExtraMile Arena. Again, the final score, 87-76. The Lopes of GCU with the road win here on a Saturday afternoon in Boise.